Thank you for joining us today on the Gustavus Sports Rewind. I'm your host, James Piper. Today we'll start off by looking at men's hockey.
Both teams were out for blood in Saturday's game, but Concordia was especially rough, finishing checks and pounding every puck handler in sight. There was no score after one period. The second period started with a bang for the Gusties. Notice David Martinson on your screen in the penalty box here. He leaves the box after his penalty expires and takes a pass off the boards from James Leathers and beats the goalie glove side for his 22nd goal of the season. Martinson got a breakaway as time was expiring the second period as well, but couldn't get a shot off before the buzzer. Martinson got an insurance goal with just over a minute remaining in the third, and his first ended up being the game winner. Gustavus goalie Josh Swartow got the shutout win and allowed only one goal on 46 shots in the two Concordia games.
Two quick notes before we move on from men's hockey, the first of which being that our own David Martinson is a finalist for the NCAA Frozen Four Skills Competition. The competition will precede the Hobie Baker Memorial Award presentation and showcases some of the best players from around the country displaying off their various hockey skills.
To vote for Martinson, just go to www.ncaa.com/frozen4skills challenge/index.html. There is also a link on the Gustavus Athletics page and to the right of this video on your YouTube page. Voting ends this Monday, February 15th at noon, so be sure to vote once, twice, or 12 times before then.
The second men's hockey issue comes in on a slightly more somber note. Former Gustavus men's hockey player Brendan Loney injured himself last summer in a tragic diving accident. Brendan and his family will be at this Friday's game at home against Hamlin, and we'd like to see everybody turn out to show support for Brendan and his family. The game will be a blackout, so we invite you to show up in as much black as you can possibly wear and cheer your heart out for the Gusties, but more importantly, cheer for the Loney family. We'll now move on to men's basketball.
Seniors Sam Paulson, shown here, and Jesse Van Sickle led the way for Gustavus, scoring 15 points and 13 points respectively in a win over McAllister last week. Here's Van Sickle getting 2 of his 13 points. McAllister was clearly not on their game, making only 26% of their shots in the first half. Gustavus led by 16 at the half. McAllister turned up the heat in the second half, going on a huge 16-2 run against Gustavus, but turnovers were McAllister's undoing. This steal by Seth Anderson was one of 24 McAllister turnovers, whereas the Gusties only turned the ball over a season-low 6 times. The final score was Gustavus 63, McAllister 44. Now we'll sit down with head men's and women's swimming coach, John Carlson. I'm here with John Carlson, head coach of the men's and women's swimming and diving team here at Gustavus, and we're going to be talking about the season thus far and where we're going. So, how's the season been thus far?
It's been great. The kids have really done an awesome job in the water. The training's been outstanding, and we've had some good results in meets. I think that things are going well. Right now we're in the toughest part of our training, so it's making it tough to swim fast in meets, but they're figuring out a way to come up with some good performances, and I'm excited for the end of the year.
All right, so what would you say has been your greatest strengths and weaknesses in the season thus far?
As far as strengths go, I'd say we've got pretty good depth. We're pretty strong all across the board in all events, and I've been very pleased with the performances of everybody. I think if there's a weakness. Well, in January, the weakness is all our divers are studying abroad right now. Mm-hmm. We have no guy divers. We have 2 of our 6 women divers are around, so it's made it pretty tricky to try to win meets.
Be competitive.
Yeah, but we're doing okay. Otherwise, when those guys come back, we'll be very tough. So hurry up, January, get over. But I think. I guess there isn't a particular event that I would focus on. I think we're strong in the distance events, definitely. On the guys' side, we've got Skylar Davis and Whitaker Davis that are kind of leading the charge. And on the women's side, we have Carrie Gunderson in the distance that's, posting the top times in the conference, meet after meet. So, but that's not to say that there aren't other events. If you look at the MIAC top times, we're up there pretty high in most of the events. So
you mentioned Skylar and Whitaker Davis and Kerry Gunderson. Also, Paul Carahara is having a good
He's
year.
having a great year, yeah.
Do the other members of the team sort of draw on them, like rally around them, or?
Yes and no. I mean, I think one of the keys to our success is that we are such a close team,
Mm-hmm.
and I think one of the reasons why Skylar and Carrie have so much success is because they're swimming for their teammates, not just for themselves. It's pretty cool how much they rely on each other. I think it's a back and forth. I think Skylar makes the people around him better, and I think the people around Skylar make him better, make him perform better in practice and in meets as well. So I think the bonus for Skylar is he has the ability, and Carrie and others, I mean, our breaststrokers, kids step up all the time just because it means more than just their performance. It affects their entire team, and in a sport that's innately individual, to swim it as a team, I think makes a big difference. So in our performances and our results. So.
What meets would you say you're looking forward to coming up the next few weeks?
Well, our conference meet is less than a month away, and that's swimming's an odd sport. Like basketball, you got to win every game, whereas swimming, you really don't have to do a whole lot until the very end, and it's kind of cool that you train for 5 months to focus on 3 days, and all the work for 5 months is focused on preparing for those 3 days, and I think it's a lot of pressure. Some people say, but one thing that we talk about is pressure is a privilege. There are a lot of situations in life where there is no pressure, and it's kind of cool to have things come down to one race, one weekend, and so that's mainly what we've been doing all year, is focusing on getting ready for our conference meet, which is February 18th through the 20th up at the University of Minnesota. And I think we're on track to have a great meet right now, and we'll see how things go from here.
Well, good luck to you on the upcoming season, and of course, good luck on those 3 days.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks a lot for having me. It was
Thanks
great.
for stopping by.
No problem.
Finally, we'll look at women's hockey.
Gustavus women carried the play like they tend to do for much of the first period and got out to a 1-0 lead midway through the first when Lindsay Helm went 5-hole from the right dot. After a scoreless second period, the Yellow Jackets tied the game up on this power play goal with just over 8 minutes remaining. Any momentum they gained was halted just 20 seconds later as Megan Waneke scored the game-winning rebound goal. Senior Alyssa Saunders assisted on both goals, and goalie Danielle Justice picked up the win, registering 14 saves along the way.
Thank you for joining us on the Gustavus Sports Rewind. Remember to vote for David Martinson and to show up to Friday's game in support for the Loney family. As always, if you've missed any of our prior episodes, you can find them online by going to YouTube and typing in Gustavus Sports Rewind into the search bar. Thanks again, and until next time, go Gusties.